We will start with what we can learn from the wisest woman we know, what we can learn from our moms, especially in the kitchen, from little seasoning secrets to time-saving tips that she's passed on. Today we are honoring a mom's kitchen wisdom and sort of challenging it too, because we're putting the best advice to the test. Heather Smith of Orson Gygi has gathered some of the best motherly kitchen advice to share, and it turns out, spoiler alert, mom was right.
Always, mom is always right.
Mom was right. Is there a piece of advice you remember or like think of in the kitchen from your own mom?
I think from my mom, and it wasn't something she ever said, but I always watched, she always like made more dinner or made more of something to share. And so for me, that was always something that like, oh, I can learn that from my mom as far as like, hey, it doesn't take any more effort to make something, especially if it's cookies or a treat or something.
Make more.
And make a little bit more, and then it's so easy to share. So that's something that I will always cherish with my mom, is like, she was not afraid to be like, I'm just gonna take this over to someone and share this with them.
And there's a ripple effect lesson in that, right? Make more.
Yes.
My mom's wasn't quite so poetic.
Oh, no.
My mom said to reach for the pine sol if people came over and pour it down every water source, and it will smell like you've cleaned for weeks.
I love that, though.
Wisdom in that, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Down the sink,
there's nothing
in the toilet.
We stress ourselves out when people are coming over. My kids are always like, Mom, no one's going to be looking at the baseboard, but I am.
But yeah. Don't worry about the baseboard.
Yeah.
Just a little smell good down your sink, and you're good.
We'll
You're
feel good.
Okay, we're going to dive into a list of advice, and you have tested these out.
Yes.
And we've gotten new satisfaction and joy from maybe this old-fashioned advice. This is from our own Jill Broadbent's mom here on the Studio 5 team. She's taught her to lay bacon flat on a cookie sheet and sprinkle flour on each piece of bacon before you cook it.
This was one that I have never heard of
I've never
before.
heard this either.
And so I was like, wait, flour, bacon, I'm not so sure, but we tried it out. And I'm actually really impressed with it. So again, we didn't take a ton, like I just kind of like dredged it.
You're like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing.
So again, I think I could go a little bit more, and of course I did both sides, but I don't know if you can tell here. So these three over here are the floured ones.
Right here.
And these two are ones that, so same pack of bacon, same oven, same cookie sheet. Look how these ones stayed a little bit, they didn't curl as much, and they stayed wider. These ones shrunk more.
It's noticeable.
Yes, and so it has a little bit of a deeper crunch to it. So if you like crunchy, delicious bacon, highly recommend throwing some flour on your bacon, and it's gonna make it. Also, I felt like it got less grease on that side of the pan. So I think it kind of absorbs it, keeps it on there, makes it crispy, crunchy, because who doesn't want crispy bacon?
Yeah, Heather and I were trying to go kitchen scientists. Has to have something to do with the moisture.
Yes.
Situation, but it definitely is noticeable.
Absolutely.
Okay, the next mom tip involved watermelon, pineapple, bringing out the good juices.
Yes, and I was really glad because we asked like our Instagram followers and your teams, and this is one that came up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is something that my mother-in-law actually does. And I was shocked by this because I had never done this growing up, but salting things like watermelon and pineapple. So I want you to try one. These ones are like the regular, and then these ones are the salted ones.
You could have gone TV bite size on me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just cut them. But it brings, so that's your regular, and it brings out your flavor. So salt enhances things. And so it's gonna bring out the sweetness, it's gonna bring out that flavor. So it's not making it overly salty. Now I will say the tip that I'm gonna give everyone is please don't use the Morton's table salt. Go with kosher salt or like a nice finishing salt. Those are just going to give you much better salty flavors.
You think of a little salt, though, on a chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, my gosh.
Same effect.
It's changed our world.
My grandma Jo was famous for the sour green apples.
Yes.
And every bite had a little sprinkle.
Always
she would sit with an apple and a salt shaker. It was the Morton. But anyway, it brings out the good flavor.
Absolutely.
All right, the next one, an easy way to dice eggs.
Okay, this one was kind of fun, and I've got some hard-boiled eggs
here. Oh, no, I see what's happening.
So this is like, I kind of was like, okay, how hard is it to really like chop up eggs? It does take some time.
Okay.
So when you have, so if you take a regular cooling rack, now some cooling racks just have the lines going this way. This is one of the grid ones. We sell them at Orson Gygi if you need one, but you just take your hard-boiled egg, and you press it down into the cooling rack.
It feels a little messy.
It kind of does, but it's actually not, because look, there's nothing really on my hands, and it comes off here, but then you've got like, do you want to try it?
Yes, now
Just
I do.
press it down hard on there.
That's kind of satisfying.
It's kind of fun, huh?
It's kind of, yeah, I won't compare what I'm thinking but out loud, because we're in the kitchen.
You have babies.
That's kind of, yeah, okay.
It's kind of fun. So when you're doing like an egg salad sandwich or anything like that, look how nicely, like it's just chopped up to those. Is it perfect? No, but I'm gonna be putting dressing and stuff with it, or, you know, just putting that in my next
fast.
salad.
That's
so
very
so
fast.
fun. I loved that idea.
Okay, next, another tip for eggs.
Okay, so one of them is, you know, when you're feeling like you're being a really great mom, you're like, come help me, kids, come crack the eggs with me, and then you spend more time fishing out the eggshells because they've come in here.
Yes.
So oftentimes when you're going to get your eggshells, the little pieces will kind of run. See, as you probably can't see this on TV, but as I go to push on this,
they run away.
egg whites run away. So several people said, just take one of your shells.
I have heard this.
And
I've never done this.
It kind of just is like a magnet, and see how it just like scooped that little piece right up, and I didn't have to chase it. Another tip a lot of people said is just wet your finger. So if you get your finger wet, oftentimes, it just grabbed it right away.
There you go.
So definitely like another tip.
Do you know what validated me? Cy Foster.
Oh yes.
She swore up and down that she still cracks her eggs in a separate bowl. Which made me feel like, okay, if Cy Foster is cracking her eggs and saving shells from getting in her cookie dough, then I too can take that extra step.
Well, sometimes you don't know what's coming out of that egg.
That's true.
So it is a little safety precaution to just crack it in something a little smaller before.
Okay, another egg tip. If the recipe says room temperature, we can get there quicker.
I love this. I do this all the time because room temperature ingredients really make a huge difference when you're baking. And so just fill up a cup or a bowl full of warm water, and it quickly brings these eggs to room temperature, and so then you're not, because I don't know if you've noticed too, like it spreads so much better when they're room temperature than when they're cold. So you know that it's gonna spread throughout your recipe.
What do you do for butter?
So butter, this was a tip, and I tried it out, and it did not work for me. So I'm going to actually reach out to one of the people who suggested this. They suggested putting a cup of water in the microwave with your butter, because it kind of will help to like disperse that heat too, so it's not just one thing. Mine still melted just as quickly, but I have heard a lot of people they put hot water in a cup and then put it over a stick of butter.
Okay.
And then that like steam from that warm
cup
will start to melt that.
Okay. All right, couple more. Tell us what you think about these. One Studio 5 viewer says her mom taught her to clean up as you go. Fill the sink up with hot soapy water before you start cooking and just keep the dishes going.
I love that, because how many times do we wait to the very end and then we're like, oh, the frosting got stuck on the bowl, so if you just have a bowl of soapy water that is kind of just helping take care, then you don't feel so bad also making your kids do the dishes.
You're like, go you kitchen helpers.
I did half of it for you.
It's kind of the Rachel Ray garbage bowl situation too, where you're keeping it moving. Another Studio 5 friend said, crack the eggs into the measuring cup you'll use for sticky ingredients like shortening, and then it won't stick.
Yes, so I've got some right here. So so if we I cracked an egg in here first.
Yeah.
And then, oh my gosh, it's like barely, like it wants to just come right out. So
we're so smart.
It does work. So again, it will work if you have a recipe that's already calling for an egg. So before, this is like the Cy Foster trick. Crack it into your measuring cup, so you're not even needing to dirty another bowl. You're already going to be using that measuring cup, and then it coats it already.
All right, one more. I know you're going to love this one. Studio 5 contributor Alex Dane says her mom taught her to always keep the ingredients for chocolate chip cookies in stock.
I love that.
Right?
I love that. You can never, also like that 3 o'clock when you just need some chocolate, just grab some chips.
Fix.
Just don't eat them all before you go make your cookies.
My sister and I are on a campaign between ourselves to get the flour in the sugar drawer in our kitchen for the same reason. We think chocolate chip cookies would happen a lot more often.
Absolutely.
Right?
I agree.
Thank you, Heather. Very fun to honor Mom and her wise kitchen wisdom. Thanks to everyone who shared. What's coming up at Orson Gygi this spring?
Oh my goodness, all the fun things. We're getting into baking, like quick breads, and then of course like pizza grilling season. So
okay, how can we follow along?
Just Gygi.com or Orson Gygi on Instagram.
It's a good time. It's always a good time of year, but summer brings a new fun food energy. So stop by Orson Gygi or go online to get yourself equipped for chocolate chip cookies and beyond. Thanks, sister.